And this is my second video for the TUWA Pro MOAB rack. Really want to talk about how it works with my bed cover, and that is the BAK Revolver X4s. As you can see, they look great together. They work great together. To install it, I did three things. When I put the rack on, it actually came with some foam padding that goes along the bottom of each of the rails that hold the rack, that support it. I'm thinking that's mostly just to protect the paint on the truck, but of course the Jeep already comes with the plastic rail toppers anyway, or bed toppers, so wasn't really concerned with protecting the paint. So I just let these sit flush without using that padding. By doing so, that kind of puts them closer at the same level where the rails for the cover are. Then the cover rails themselves, you can see along the bottom there is a rubber piece of trim, which really helps for waterproofing. Although the X4s isn't completely waterproof, there's still some water gets in anyway, but I did trim that where the rack mounts go through and wrap down over the bed. So that allows them to just go in right through where the cover rail set, and it still sets pretty much flush all the way across. That rubber gasket is just about a 1/2 inch thick anyway, which is just enough room for these rails to kind of get under it and then turn down along the side of the bed. So cut the rubber gasket, left the foam off of the rails. The last thing that I did, open up the rack, is literally looking at the bolts. You can see here, hanging down right here, is the TUWA Pro rack and the way it is mounted. And then underneath that, kind of getting in here farther, you can see where this is the rail or the track for the revolver. And there's two screw holes here, one there, one here. This one fit perfectly the way I've got it. Just is a perfect fit. This one is blocked by this rack cover. So for now, I don't have it on, and you can see it's still pretty firm. It's not going anywhere. I think it's still got plenty of support and structure to it. However, I could, and I have thought about just drilling one hole into this mount and then putting a screw through that. And then it might actually help with, keeping both pieces secure, but both of them are on very solidly, so I'm really not concerned about it. So really just leaving that bolt hole out on each side, trimming the rubber gasket around where these rack supports sit, and leaving the foam off of that. That's the only three things I had to do. And you can see the Revolver X4 works great. It does stop now about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches maybe from the back. And that is because it is moved in ever so slightly to accommodate the rack. So once you get all the way to this back corner, it does start to kind of pinch where these legs go into the rails. So it kind of stops just slightly short, but as you can see, it still gives you pretty much the full width of the bed, full use of the bed. So it works great. The rack also, even with the chase rack, allows you the room to reach in where they've got the mountains cut out in the rack. So you have plenty of room to reach in to grab it, and you can slide it on, roll it on and off pretty easily. So that's the Revolver X4s bed cover with the TUWA Pro MOAB rack on a 2021 Jeep Gladiator.